Hey, how you doing? It's me, Jonathan Royle, better known to some of you as Alex William Smith at magicalguru.co.uk and magicalguru.com. I'm making this video to give you my review of a book called Mentalism for Hypnotherapists by Rob de Groof. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologise, Rob. What happened is I saw a tweet on Twitter last weekend whilst I was at Blackpool Magic Convention 2019, and it was from Rob de Groof saying that his new book, Mentalism for Hypnotherapists, was available on the stand of Taylor Imagineering. So I went over and purchased it. It cost me £30 United Kingdom sterling. I imagine you'd have to pay postage as well if you ordered mail order. And this is my honest review, having read it a couple of times. Firstly, I'd like to just show you, because there's not really a photo of Rob in the book, but there's a rather nice line drawing of Rob there, and also another nice caricature line drawing there, and also photographs, as you can see. The point being there that this is got illustrations where required, and it's also got photographic illustrations where required, line drawings and photos. So it's great in that regard. The total number of pages in this book is 180 pages, okay? This is around approximately A5 size, British A5, that's half of an A4. So standard kind of book size. That gives you the idea. Obviously, I can't show you every page because that would be giving stuff away, so I'm just flicking. So you can see there is pictures where required and tons and tons of information. Now, I've got good points for this book and bad points, but some of what I consider to be bad points are actually good points for you, or the majority of people watching. What do I mean? Well, bear with me. Ultimately, there are some bits at the back of this book from guests, okay? And this book is all about using mind reading tricks, what they call mentalism, okay? That's used by mentalists, mind magicians, or people like Derren Brown, that you may have seen on TV, okay? It's about being able to climb inside people's minds, tell them what they're thinking, or predict what they're thinking in advance using psychological trickery, verbal linguistics, and pure out-and-out deception and sleight of hand style magical trickery and physical secret magic trick type techniques to create the illusion of being able to read people's minds on body language, to be able to climb inside their minds, to create that perception of manipulating their senses and their emotions into doing what you wanted. Now, I understood the idea of this book to be that it's mentalism for hypnotherapists. And in that regard, if you're a hypnotherapist who does not know what things such as the one-ahead principle or peaking means, or you don't know what you don't really know about mentalism techniques such as switching, peaking, one ahead, forcing techniques and things like that, then this book will prove to be worth its weight in gold to you. At least it will be if you can think outside the box and fill in the missing link that's not explained in the book. And that is how to fully effectively use these mentalism techniques as a hypnotherapist. Yes, it will show you how to use them to look like you can read people's body language, or that you can climb inside their mind, or you can read subconscious cues, or you can manipulate them through verbal linguistic techniques. And yes, in essence, that alone can convince people that you have special skills and powers, and therefore can attach to you more of an awe rapport where they think, wow, this person's amazing, and therefore they're likely to believe in you more. And therefore, when you come to hypnotize them, because they believe you've got special powers, as all hypnosis exists only in the mind of the believer, then if they believe in you fully and expect it to work, then it's more likely to. And yes, mentalism techniques can help lay down that groundwork. So it's worth its weight in gold in that regard, but I've got to say I was a little bit disappointed, well, very disappointed, that there wasn't a chapter or two on actual frameworks, psychological frameworks for using these mentalism techniques in a manner that will immediately put people into a more hyper-suggestible state. and indeed in a manner whereby they can be used as inductions, so that upon revealing, it actually sends somebody into a hypnotic trance state. Are those things possible? Yep, of course they are. I was teaching them the best part of 20 years ago, and over the past 20 years, such techniques, using the techniques that are in this book, but showing you how to then hypnotise people with them, have been used on my Mind Miracles, Manchester Mind Miracles training event, which the videos are available on magicalguru.co.uk in the shop. I've also taught the techniques now to use them for hypnosis in my Confessions of a Hypnotist Birmingham seminar that again is available from my online store, and I've taught a lot of magic tricks and mentalism techniques within my psychophysio-energetic alignment of changing energies and emotions home study therapy diploma course. But what I would say is get this book first. If they appeal to you, as I'm sure they will, and you can see the value, and then you want to learn more how to actually use the techniques to hypnotize people, and how to use them in a therapeutic context, because you can use these techniques in a therapeutic context. It doesn't go into that in the book, which I thought it would, say Mentalism for Hypnotherapists. But I use some of the techniques in this book and teach them on those seminars, Manchester Mind Miracles, Confessions of a Hypnotist, Birmingham, the Peace Diploma training, and some other products I've got out there, such as There's Still No Such Thing as Hypnosis and The Law of Attraction Exposed. And at great length in my Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp, I use techniques such as the ones in this book and other ones beside, but this book is an excellent starting place, okay? But I use the techniques to actually help people overcome their habits, addictions, fears and phobias from A through to Z, whatever they may be. Yes, there are ways to use the one ahead system to cure phobias and help people eliminate the habits, addictions, fears and phobias. Yes, there are ways to use peaks, forces and switches and other mentalism techniques that are in this book to actually put people in a state of mind where a genuine change happens, whereby they say goodbye positively to forever to whatever habit, addiction, fear or phobia they used to have before they came to you from A through to Z. So in that regards, I was quite disappointed there weren't a couple of chapters in here about actual therapeutic examples of how to use the techniques to help people with their habits, addictions, fears and phobias from A through to Z. There is to a degree with the pendulum work, admittedly, but I meant the actual mentalism techniques, peaks, one ahead, forces, all those kind of things can be used for actual positive change work. And as I say, I have been doing for well over 2 decades and teaching them on my Manchester Mind Miracles, Birmingham Confessions of a Hypnotist and my Chesterfield Peace Therapy trainings, amongst others, that you can find in my Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp, details of which are at magicalguru.co.uk. Anyway, back to Mentalism for Hypnotherapists. At 30 quid sterling, if you've not already got a copy of 13 Steps to Mentalism by Tony Corinda, which is recommended inside this book, then it is a great starting point and I would recommend it. If you've already got 13 Steps to Mentalism, then to be honest, there's no real need for this, purely because all the techniques it teaches are in 13 Steps to Mentalism, and there's not really that much meat in terms of how to use it as a hypnotherapist to help people with their habits, addictions, fears and phobias from A through to Z. Just teaches the mentalism techniques. Maybe, you know, I know he does a live, of course, as well. No doubt in the live course he will probably teach you how to use these techniques to help people overcome their habits, addictions, fears and phobias and other issues from A through to Z. But that isn't covered in any great depth in this book, which I found disappointing given the title Mentalism for Hypnotherapists. This is more of an introductory course into mentalism, forcing techniques, peak techniques, switching techniques, and how to routine things together to look like you've got powers. And yes, that's got a useful use, as explained, for making people more suggestible, believing in you more, heightening their expectancy and belief, and believing that you've got some kind of special power. However, it would have been nice if it also showed you examples of how to use the techniques to actually eliminate people's habits, fears, addictions and phobias from A through to Z. So yeah, if you know nothing about mentalism, get a copy of the book. It's a great starting point, but when you have, you'll either want to go on one of Rob's live courses, where I assume he will then expand on what's in the book and teach you how to use them for actual therapeutic interventions and resolutions, or you may want to check out, after you've read this book, Manchester Mind Miracles video training set, the Confessions of a Hypnotist Birmingham video training set, and or the Peace Diploma course training set, all of which are inside my Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp that's currently on special offer. Inbox me at facebook.com/Alex the Hypnotist, or at the link above or below this video for more information. You'll also find the link above or below where to order Rob's book. It's well written. It's a great introductory text if you know nothing about mentalism, but if you're a hypnotherapist thinking you're going to learn techniques that'll help you in terms of helping people overcome the habits, addictions, fears and phobias, then you're likely to be disappointed unless you think outside the box and take the techniques it teaches, remembering that they will heighten expectancy and belief, and then add other things in you may already know, which is what I do on those video training sets. So overall, I'm going to give it, out of 10, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Actually, I'm going to give it 2 marks. As an introductory text to mentalism techniques that's well written, well illustrated, and got some great routines and some guest stuff in the back from the likes of Mark Elsden. It's got some stuff from his Conversations as Mentalism series and whatnot. Then I would say that this is worth its weight in gold and definitely worth 30 quid. So I'd give it, in that regard, so as an introductory text, 9.5 out of 10. If you're a collector of books, then obviously it gets 10 out of 10 because you collect books. And if you're a hypnotherapist wanting to use mentalism techniques to look like you can influence people, then I'd say it's about a 9.5 out of 10. But if you're a hypnotherapist thinking you can learn how to utilise these techniques properly without any further training or research to actually overcome habits, addictions, fears and phobias, you're going to be a little bit disappointed if you don't do some other training as well, in which case I'd give it 7.5 to 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 in that regard. So as you can see, even though I've got some negatives, overall it is well worth getting. Yeah, that's Mentalism for Hypnotherapists by Rob de Groof, and I just realised there is a picture of him. It's staring at me, hidden in obvious place on the back. And I'll just show you so you can find his website to purchase the book. That is there at the bottom, and he also has a range of other hypno-mentalism stuff as well. So there you go. Bye for now.